Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This episode is not about any travel guide or any city whatsoever in China. It is about the common problems that you might face in China. Right now, I am in Shanghai, leaving back home to Hong Kong, and I want to talk about the 10 common problems that you might face as a tourist in China. I just went to Xinjiang for 15 days with my friend Denise. It was an absolute fabulous trip, and I cannot wait to edit the film so that you guys can see the absolute beautiful scenery that I saw. I'm just so fortunate. So anyway, let's get straight to it. I'm actually on a plane right now, so just in case you're wondering why, it's because I didn't have enough time to edit my Chengdu number 2 episode. And I insist on making an episode every single week. So that's why I decided to do this episode, since many of you have asked me about it anyways. And all right, the first one is, of course, the language. The majority of the people speak Mandarin, except in the southern part of China, like Guangzhou and part of Schengen and Hong Kong, of course, they speak Cantonese. So how do you solve that? So easy. An app like a translator app. The Google translation doesn't work very well in China, or not at all actually, because you will need VPN. I'm gonna put it in the comment below on the app that you should be using as a translator app. Many of you would be able to use it easily, and then the people who answer you would be able to help you. Most of the Chinese people, no matter in city or rural area, they are extremely friendly. All right, and the second one is an extremely important one. Actually, the most important one to me, even I'm not a foreigner, but I grew up in New York, and I was born and raised in Hong Kong until I was like 12. So, toilets problem, especially as a woman. Majority of China, except in big city, uses squat toilets. They felt that it is more hygienic, and it is healthier. So if you look it up, it might still really be healthier, but we are not used to that, especially when you get to a public toilets in the rural area, like Xinjiang, like Zhangjiajie, like Yunnan. It is pretty crazy and mind-blowing that you're gonna have to use those toilets. You might be stepping on pee or whatever, and then I mean, it's just disgusting to say that you might walk into a public toilet and you see a dump in there, but you are gonna see that if you're gonna visit the rural part of China, because they just don't have a toilet seat equipped in these public areas. Most of the hotels do have regular toilet seats, as in the ones that I recommend. Even just for like $30-40 US a night, you will get regular toilet seats. So how do you solve this problem when you don't want to use a squat toilet? Honestly, 90% of the time, there are accessible toilets, meaning for like handicap or wheelchair personnel. So you can use that, but even that, you're still gonna have that strong smell. Just bear with that, because the scenery that you're gonna see in those areas actually is gonna be worth it. The more rural area in China, the more beautiful it is, and the more squat toilets you are going to see. So even in Xinjiang this time, it's actually the very first time that I pee in in a flat land, meaning it's not even a public toilet, because we were on the road for quite a few hours, and it is better than using public toilet because we don't see one. So when you're just stopping by the road and there's no car going by, that's when you have to go. And I learned that skill when I was in Africa. We call that bush toilets, right? They're actually cleaner. So hopefully that can help you. Handicap toilets, you just have to give yourself some preparation with that. And then the number 3 problem that you might face, I think which is a very common one, and the most important one actually, is the payment. China is a almost cashless country, meaning that 99% of the people do not carry cash, like as a mainlander, you know, like if you live here, most of the people don't even have wallets, because credit card is not widely accepted here as well. So they take Alipay and WeChat Pay. And the good news to you is that as a foreigner, you can use that nowadays. I will put a link for each app below and from another YouTuber on how to open an account without a Chinese bank account or phone number, and hopefully that can help you. With that, you will be able to travel to China much more comfortably, because people don't even have change to give back to you, to be honest. You will look very weird if you have cash around, but they will take it. Just sometimes they really don't have change. It's not that they are trying to take your change. All right, and the number 4 problem, the fourth one that you might face is visa. But the good news is I heard, not that only I heard, I know some people from different countries, I think even like Germany or Austria, or there are many countries right now that can get a visa free for 144-hour transit visa free to China. So it depends on what country you're watching this video from. Please check it out, or if you comment below, I will try my best to search it for you, but I cannot promise because sometimes don't have enough time. But if you're from like the US or from like Austria or Germany, I don't even know if Italy is one, or Netherlands, you can get 144-hour visa-free transit visa, meaning if you come to China like Shanghai and you have transferred to Hong Kong, and you can stay in Shanghai or nearby areas or whatever for 6 full days, as long as you can prove that you're gonna leave the countries after that 144 hours. But to be honest, I don't use that because I am from Hong Kong, so I do have like a card that can go to China for as long as I need. So please don't quote me on that, because these things changes all the time, right? China is extremely strict on like drunk and drive. Don't even think about having a glass of wine and start driving and thinking that you can get out of the situation by talking to a police and say, oh, I didn't mean that, and all that. It's not gonna work here. It's zero tolerance on drugs and alcohol. So please be very mindful and respect that, because they are extremely strict on that, and it's all for the safety of their own people. And then the next one is cultural differences. I know that in the States or in other parts of the world, you're used to, for example, this is just one of the cultural differences. You're used to having your own dish of food. It's not for sharing or somewhat. But in Chinese culture, we like to share food. We like to order different dishes so everyone can have a bit and all. And another cultural differences might be like touching. You know how we get very friendly in other countries, right? We will put our arm on their shoulder, on other people's shoulder, or we would like put our hand on each other's arm or something like that, for example. But in China, please be very mindful that not everyone is open-minded. Make sure you're not you're not touching people's part unless you know that they are like really your friend or something. I think because I have seen that ladies get very uncomfortable because of it, because we get over friendly, even me, because I study abroad. So for me, sometimes when I'm in China, I will put like my arm on like another man's like shoulder, because like we're friendly with each other, right? But not everyone will take that, especially their girlfriend and wives. Now we're on to the number 7th common problem that you might face, which is a lot of people's concern actually, is the internet. Well, of course, there's internet everywhere in China, almost even in rural area. It just might not be 5G, or it might be, but I did get all 5G in Xinjiang, right? But when you get to rural area where people are not even visiting, like for tourists, which are like a beautiful parts of China, you might get 3G, LTE, or some sort. But guess what? You cannot go on Google. You cannot search things. You cannot use Google Maps. You cannot go on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. There's a TikTok Chinese version, by the way, Douyin. So you are going to have to use VPN. And please do not ask me which VPN is the best, because in different areas of China, it works differently. I have used Structure, ExpressVPN and all, but I have used a lot of different VPNs, but one work better in one area than another. So it really depends on your service provider as well, or which VPN you use. There's not one VPN service that will work the best in the whole China. China is extremely big, okay? Remember that you can connect your Wi-Fi in hotels and connect to your VPN and upload your stories or your posts, but or even email. So if you use Gmail, you need VPN. So that might be a concern for a lot of people, but as long as you have VPN, or if you have eSIM or SIM card from like a provider like outside of China, then you're good. Like I use this Hong Kong SIM card, so it works very well in China everywhere I go, and I have no problem connecting to the rest of the world. The next one is transport. All right. China is extremely connected, especially with their high-speed rail and all the planes. The high-speed rail have grew rapidly during the last 10 years. Basically, you can go from one place to another in hours in China, comfortably at least, and you don't have to really worry about much things. But for a foreigner, if you don't have the app 12306, you're gonna have to use trip.com. And sometimes the tickets get sold out. So even if you have paid trip.com, they will refund you if they cannot buy you the tickets, but it's not guaranteed that they can get the tickets. So that is, I think, a very common problem for a lot of people. So you have to make sure you buy your ticket in advance for the long journey, of course. Like from Hong Kong to Shenzhen, you don't have to worry. There are just so many trains every single day because it's only 14 minutes. But for example, if you are trying to get from Hong Kong or like Shenzhen or Guangzhou to Zhangjiajie, that tickets get sold out all the time, all the time. So even me, I couldn't get some tickets, or even to Guilin, because these are very popular destinations for high-speed rails. Put that into consideration. And also from city to city or within the city, you have to use Didi, or you have Didi is like an Uber in China, extremely convenient and so cheap. But you do have to get the app, and they do have English. I will put a link on how to download that, because it's not like you can change on the app from what I know. Even if you can paste the address in Chinese, it doesn't work like that. But so you have to try to navigate, may I say so. But so that is another common problem in China. Number 9, food and hygiene problem. The food in China, in general, absolutely amazing. Not because I'm Chinese. The food is just so good, like all these noodles, the dumplings, or if you eat lamb, you go to Xinjiang, you will never have lamb again elsewhere. I guarantee even I don't eat lamb, because all my foodie friends have told me after they went to Xinjiang, they don't even bother to order lamb elsewhere. So, I mean, the hygiene problem, aside from the toilets that we have talked about before, is about many of the, especially in rural area, you will see people spitting. As in, I don't even know how to do it. You will hear it, and then they would just do it on the streets, especially in a little town or in, countryside of China, because they're accustomed to that. It will give them, you need to give them time to learn and change, but it will disgust you, because even to this day, when I see it, or if that person is close to me, I still feel very disgusted. But it is something that we have to take, because it's just that it takes. China is only 75 years old, like the new era of China, that is open to the world. You have to give them time. Like the hardware is great, as in the infrastructure to many big cities and everything, but you have to give time to the people to learn, especially in the countryside. So if you go to Shanghai or you go to Guangzhou or Beijing, you don't see much people doing spitting like that. But are you going to see that? Yes, like in old towns. So that is something that you have to bear with. This is a cultural differences. Because I heard from my friend that they have so much to spit out because of the cigarette that they smoke. The nicotine level is extremely high. So please, I don't know if I'm right. Please try to bear with them. They are learning. They are actually nice people. If they are trying to cut the line, it's because they thought that if there's a space between lines, they can get in. They just don't know. And again, I'm talking about countryside. I'm not talking about Shanghai, or are you going to see those people? Yes, because you know what? Many mainland people who are not living in these big cities, their goal is to travel to a big city like Shanghai. So they have like maybe 5 to 10 year life savings so that they can see a big city like Shanghai. So last but not least, the 10th problem that you might face as a foreigner is a lack of trusted tour guide. This is an extremely sensitive subject because there are so many good tour guides, but when you only speak English or French or Italian or Spanish, you're narrowed down to a very small percentage of tour guide. And a lot of the tour guide, they are required to take you to shopping so that they can earn a commission. So sometimes how do you avoid that? Well, okay, because of so many friends who have asked me how to travel here, there, and there, so I'm going to start a tour agency, as in just being the middle person to the places that I have went to only, so that you guys know who to trust. Or I mean, you don't have to use it, but at least you can contact them directly. You can see if the prices suits you or if the tour suits you. But I can guarantee to you that for whatever that you are gonna get from the tour that I recommend to you, there's no shopping involved. Unless you really want to go shop, then that's different. Because you know, a lot of the tour, right, in China, they're so cheap, as in like package tour, but they are required to bring you to shopping so that they can earn some commission for either the company or the guide itself for the salary. So and I'm not talking about all, of course. I'm sure many of you have had good experience in China with a very good tour guide. So I did not make this video to promote my company because I'm just setting it up now. But I'm just gonna put it out there that that this company is coming in a couple months, and if you guys have any questions about any of the places that I have been to, which I have at least 15, 16 episodes that are not out yet, just email me and I will answer them for free. My email address is in the description box below. And now I'm going to wrap up this video because my flight is taking off from Shanghai and heading back home now. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys next week. Next week is Chengdu number 2. I know I'm like 3 weeks behind on all my videos, and I have to move in the next 10 days, and it's gonna be very exciting. But that is a wrap for China for 2024, and I will see you guys next week in Chengdu.